Hey guys, my name is Cineac and welcome back to the second episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skyline, where we are going to be building the biggest city we have ever built before. And there's two ways this series is going to end. Well, one of two ways. One, the save game and my PC crashes and can no longer handle it. Or two, we finally surpass 1 million population and we can no longer build anymore. Guys, last episode we built our infrastructure, got it all kind of basically set up, the skeleton of our first set of highway roads within the center of the downtown area. Today I want to take a look at public transport. So before we allow people to start moving in and we start building, I want to get the roads all set up and connected and all the on and off ramps all added in. I want to get some form of public transport set up too, because when people start moving in, they're going to move in thick and fast. They're going to be coming in by their thousands. So I need to make sure my infrastructure is able to support them. Now, if you guys do enjoy this, I want to see more from this series and Foolsopolis grow into the big, beautiful, foolish city we all know it's going to be, then smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when the next episode does come out. Now, I've been giving lots of thought. Of what would be the main form of public transport. Now, I don't think I can pick one. I think I'm going to have to utilize a little bit of everything. I can't be greedy and just go to one, form of transport. I think I've got to be versatile. I've got to use everything, but not in every place, just where it will be most beneficial. Now, what I've done, and it's the first time I've actually bought this, and I'm surprised it took me so long to get it, is the creator pack for all the train stations and metro lines and all that kind of jazz. And there's some really, really good ones in here. Now, coming and looking at this, I've noticed that there's a fair few train ones, but there's more metro ones than any other. And a lot of them stations allow me to kind of crisscross over and create all different types of lines, like normal train here, you can do a little crisscross just there. This allows you to bring in a load of train lines to an end station and then kind of like transport them over to a metro line. There's a lot of stuff going on right now, and even this little Sunken square one, there's so much going on. So what I'm thinking of then, within the radius of this highway, we pretty much want everything here to be connected via metro lines. Just solely because they can carry a big bulk of people. We can go in many different directions without having to demolish or, interrupt a lot of the traffic above ground, which is a really, really big help. But I want to bring everybody from outside the region on trains. Now, outside of this highway, if I kind of zoom out right now, we'll go heavily trains and stuff like that. And obviously, there'll still be areas with metro and stuff like that anyway. But that's the kind of thing, as we get closer to the main city, we start to slowly go underground and above ground in terms of in the air with our metro lines. So, this is going to be a big decision right now. The big decision of where we kind of start it all. Now, we've kind of got that road connected to there. Connected over to here, it's all good. Got that over there. It will be all eventually connected, but I've got to pick a point of where it's all going to start. And it's quite nerve-wracking, to be honest with you, to try and, figure out where we're going to go with doing it. So first things first then, let's pick the station that we want to bring the passengers in on trains. Now, we have this variation, which is a nice little crossover, but that's something more as you're either connecting lines or just going to the next station. We have this one here, it's more of an elevated one, but it's not really a dead end, it's a continual line, which you could use. It then just depends on where you want to take the line after. Or, coming back to this, I can have all the train lines come into like a dead end stop, where then if they want to go any further on this line or progress to anywhere else in the city, that's when we push them to the metro. And some of it will be elevated, some of it will be sunken down. So I think this will be the one. It is quite a beautiful little glass building as well. So if I brought it in, how many lines have we got on it? Hold on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So pretty much we can make trains come from 6 directions. Okay. So if I zoom back out again right now, so I can make, say if I pull it here facing this way, I could do 1 coming out and then maybe going that way. 1 that way, 1 that way. And then that's 3. Now, if I put it facing this way, I can obviously make one go that way, that way. I could probably potentially 4. If I had it facing going that way, I could then maybe turn it to run along this way. I don't want all the lines to run to that. I probably won't utilize all of it. But, yeah. This is a big decision. I think I'll have it come in that way. I can have one line going there, one line going down, one line going this way. And then we'll have another line that crosses over that way with trains. And yeah, right, we've got it. We've got it. Enough jibber jabber right now, boy. Let's get this going. So, these are our main roads kind of connecting in. We want to sort something out to where we are utilizing more than just having the line crossing over. So, let's go to the normal roads. And I do want to maximize it. Now, I want to try and stay away from this. But first things first, what I do need to do is sort out our grid method. So I know that's a 10, but the problem is you have to come out by 11. So that will be 11 there, but it's not an 11 here. So delete you. It's always a bit awkward to get this set up. So that should be an 11. 11 there, and that should be an 11 there. Reason for it is, it's so when you kind of continually build, you're then always maximizing your grid method. Now I'm going to bring it by 10 again and 10 again. All right, and then we're going to delete you and you. Now, do you reckon that's big enough on the radius? We'll do this here. So you see we're maximizing the grid, and I'll leave that square there because you could probably assume there's going to be some type of huge roundabout going in the middle, so I could just kind of leave it like that. So from there, then that's a 10. And what we'll do, we'll go every 40. So that will be a 40 there. And then we'll cut in. So we'll do another 40. Cut in. We'll do another 40. And then cut in. And then we'll do another 40. Now, technically, what I could do here is rather than do a 40 and cut in, I could create on and off ramps there to utilize that little section. But you've kind of got to be careful that that then doesn't become the main connection to this area, but it's one of those things you only see as time goes on. So anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So I'm going to bring this down by another 10. Another 10 there and go across, because I'm going to centralize where I want the train line to be in here. Now, I don't want to write against this, or do I? Because wherever I place it right, then the metro line above is going to be elevated, tearing through. Now, if I placed it here, you still get a little bit of zoning there. I think that, do you know what? This will be the perfect place. Right, we've figured it out. So delete you. And I can fit that, bam, straight in there. And now we have a beautiful system, a beautiful setup. So delete you back for just a minute then. So this is where it all begins, guys. This is legit where it all begins. I can see it's eventually putting like some kind of little parking lot just here or whatnot as we progress forward. But yeah, so train lines going out, so they kind of split onto either side, which is pretty cool. But if I bring each one out by a 10, and then we'll have to, like, you know, filter some of them in to certain areas to kind of get them all goes on. So for the metro line then, is that actually one line or is that multiple lines? I don't quite know. So hold on. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So that's pretty cool, to be honest with you. That is pretty cool how you can then have the one going across. If I make it came out by, well, I can't do by 10 because it'll hit smack bang into there. But 15 and a 5. And then we still get like zoning either side to utilize as well. So that could be interesting. So that's 20 out by both sides. Now, just out of interest, what would happen if I did... So the distance is too short, but if I connect it like that, is that a bit too messy? Probably, who knows? Who knows? But in the image of that hub, does it kind of show you what we could do with it? There's only one train line, well, one metro line coming out on the other side as well. But that could be the beginning of it all. It really could. And obviously, if we utilize the multiple platforms on it, Then when a train's coming in, it hasn't got to wait. It's ultimately got like 3 platforms almost to kind of choose from. So that is the beginning of how it all gets set up. And that's quite exciting. So in reality then, we've got six lines. But if I kind of break them down into individual by 3s, and then we can kind of, you know, run with that. So I like how we've got this sticking out. I think we're going to bring it out a bit more as we kind of merge them all in. Because it's kind of like we're creating like borderline like a little train yard, isn't it? I like the design of that. So bring them all out by 1, and then what we'll do is we'll then try and all, you know, we'll slowly then try and bring them all into, merge them into 3 lines instead. So we'll extend this one by 20. We'll extend that one by 20 and that one. So then we're bringing these guys in. So I think a 6, a 6, and a 6 as they then kind of merge into singular lines. And then we then want to kind of bring them a tad closer again as well. So if I then also, I don't know whether it's easy to do it like this, delete that. So I can then merge them over by 1 more. Just bear with me a second, because I'm just trying to get the best layout for it. By 6, by 6. And then we want to bring them all back into their 1s. So if I delete that back, and then go by a 6, how would that look being pushed forward? Because then they're now running parallel. But then I would want this to then move over by 6, delete you. And now we're running parallel. Yeah, that kind of works. So I can utilize the 2 stations on the singular line. If needs be, I can maybe split them up. But pretty much these are going to run straight forward. And we'll probably end up having roads that go over past these, and we can utilize them. I might sink them down. I could potentially elevate them, but I know it'd probably be keep them as they are or sink them down just because how the highway over here works. So bring these directly through. And then from this point here, or I might even start some of them a little bit earlier, they take a different direction. And to be honest, looking at this right now, I feel like this, delete you back, this should have been the one that came and stayed straight. And then cut in there. There we go. Something a bit different, something a bit more unique. Right, that's now into play then. We'll get them connected to the outside region soon anyway. So now I want to figure out then where we're going to be taking this elevated metro. So I think we'll use the elevated metro to do kind of like somewhat of a loop. But also that will be built as time goes on, because we also need to, we don't understand just yet how we're going to be building our network, our grid in a way. Now from here, we're doing the old 40, so that's 10 already, so we'll do a 30. Smack bang in. So that's a full 40 going across. Another 40. Bam. But I feel like I need to also do like a miniature ring road that goes all the way around. So where that is a 40, just there, I think what we'll do is go for a large medium road. Now these are, if I upgraded these to, let's say, that, it doesn't change the depth of it, so that's okay. So I think we'll come off with the grass. So I know that is a 40 all the way across, and if I bring that down, you do kind of then lose the space on either side, but I think again we'll be okay with it. Now if I bring that by 10, I've got 2 options. I could bend this to run parallel down with here to then create another connection. Maybe that's where I create the on and off ramp section there, rather than, or maybe then one down here, just rather than a central one that will kind of be overloaded. Now I know that from that first section here to there is 44. So if I just kind of pick a little bit of a random spot 24. And then do 20, then I know we're sticking out by 44. To then go across, just so I know where I've got the parallel line for this. And then we want these two guys to then bend just nice. So, bring it out a bit more. So I know it's going to snap on at 38. So, if I go by 20, I'm setting myself up for an 18 by 18 bend. 18 by 18. How do I feel about that 18 by 18 bend? I can bring this out by another 10. And then that would then be at this point a 14 by 14. The shorter I make it, the more prominent, is that the correct word? The bend slightly looks. So I could then, like I said, bring this further down. Then I can run a road cutting that way. That will then go down here over the train line here to there. So I'm now kind of creating my filter lanes, my through roads, as I slowly then start to create the neighborhoods within the ring road. So I'll get on. That actually bends weirdly there, doesn't it? I might need to make that a little bit more straight and then create the bend further up. But yeah. Great stuff. So that happened on the 30th there. So on the third 40, right? Now I could go here, which would mean that would be the connection in. But is that then too close to that? I feel like it would, and it would need to be this one. So we've kind of cut in. And I might bring that up to somewhat go that way. No. Bring it up and... No. I feel like it needs to go that way. I still feel like that needs to be the one. I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with that one being the one then. It might be a bit too close, but we'll see what happens. So upgrade you. So bring you out to 50. And I know then the first train line is up to there. So if I go for the 10 by 8. I know that is a 9. So if I then do a 5, I mean there's a 4 away from it. Is that 4 in? Yeah. I should have elevated it by 8. So 4 in. So 5. And then the 10, it comes down to 0. So I know that's going then straight across. It's even both sides, basically. So then, we can bring this down a bit more. As we continue the grid. And eventually the grid will switch over. So the next bit is figuring out where we want this to end and run. So if I pick their 160. So if I do, hang on there. I won't do the 160 there, we'll do 150. So it starts at the 150 length. And I'll bring this out by, so that's 30, 40, no, 30. So actually, you know what I should be doing here is upgrading this to there. So this is where the grid line switches down to this format. And if I keep it to the same thing again. So let me get this just right. So every 40 we cut in. And it might give us the alignment of where... Oh, that's 50. Of where I want to then create the center bit. So I could bring it down there and it will be a very sharp turn in. Probably not the best idea. Or I could maybe bring it into this one, but then it's quite close to there. Or I could centralize the whole thing and have this flow over that whole area and connect in. Or maybe on this method we can completely switch it. So if that was there, and we upgraded you to be that center bit, could we make an exception for this section only? I mean, what we'll have to do if we wanted to go down that road is maybe come out a bit more. So if I came out by another 10, and And then can we pick up that bend straight away? So that's a 23 by 23. Are we happy with that? Such a sheer bend? I don't think I am. So if I came back by another 10. By another 10. And that becomes a 13 by 13. That's almost perfect. Right, we'll go with that. So, with that said, if I stuck this up by another 10, by another 10, created the crossover here. So yeah, I've got to sort that out. 10. That is technically 11 because the way we stuck out by one more there. Get the spacing just right. And then we have, again, grid format. So we've kept this quite open here because, again, it might need to be that a roundabout goes here. But ultimately, we've then created our little through road that tears down to here and then could continue going in this direction, which would then probably come down, bend in that way there. So we create like an inner ring road within the ring road. That makes sense? I'm hoping it makes kind of sense. But we can then technically utilize our first line with the metro. So I could get it to split into two different ways, unless we have a station that gives us the ability to switch in multiple ways. Now I know we've got these here, these little crisscrosses, but it gets a little bit funky in terms of how you would want to utilize it. Now I could add that one there, but that doesn't really go where I want it to go. I could have dropped that one down, but it's getting a little bit too close. We have the bypass metro, not what I'm looking for. No. Any other ones that we can do a couple of crisscrosses in? I don't think there's many options in that sense. I know for the metro over here, there's a station variation or two. That's all to go like down the ground. Now let me look at this one again, because we might be able to do something with this one. If I manage to somewhat, the one that goes straight under that, well, continues to go that direction, then comes down to ground level, it could be handy to utilize it here. But let me just drop this down anyway, because how does it work in a sense of, is it's one line, isn't it? It is a metro, right? Train. Or is it a train? It's a train, isn't it? Yeah, not a metro. I'm getting confused. Actually, do you know what? That might not be a bad idea. If I, let's say I bought this, for example, here. Or there. I'm trying to think the, where a train could run. I'm pushing boundaries now. Seriously pushing boundaries. But the plaza could allow us to go in again multiple directions. But nothing seems right at the minute. So just keep it normal anyway. We got a Sunken metro bypass right now. Which that one is your standard. This below has two platforms, two side tracks. Okay, sweet. Sunken Island. So, okay, what's the difference with this then? Is it kind of the same? Oh, see, that can go on both sides of the road by the looks of it. But it is going in that direction. Ooh. Is it too close to have another platform, another station there? Yes. But I could have this one, for example. So if I place that there, I've got a station right here. Now, does that seem right? What if I positioned it central here? Kept it all sunken down, so I can create a line that just kind of comes off and then sinks down to go in that direction for the metro line. Ooh, okay, we might have our first route or two on the go. So metro line then. So this should stay all as pretty much a tunnel. So am I right in doing that? Yeah. So bringing this. So to there is 44. So if I go 54, then we're technically 10 past that mark. But I've then got to get it connected up to there, which will be the next interesting one. The next interesting one. So let's figure out how we can do this. The ideal thing would be is having some kind of a hub where you did have a sunken metro line, this, but I've also got to include it with the one going across there. So that would be good for the little crossover, but we've already got the crossover in that sense happening right here. But that's ideal to run through that direction going up, but we'll have other options to go down that route anyway. So let's get this line set up now. So in reality, let me get out of tunnel mode. There we go. In reality, if I had a second line coming in, now like I said before, I don't think it likes the idea of being connected so close to it. So if I had that, right, and then let's get this one above ground. So it's minus 12. So if I bring it up by 0 by 12, we then need it to somewhat connect here. Now, it hasn't got to go straight diagonal. I can actually bring it 90 degree and then turn down. It's just where that 90 degree takes place is the big question. So I know right now, technically, from there to here, we're 16 away. So here to, I mean, I've got to get it in a straight line. So 16 is there. So just bear with me a second. All right, delete that. So I could bring this. Hang on, how far is it out on the snap? 19. So if I pull it out by another 9. Delete there. Then that is a 10. Becomes your standard 10 by 10 bend connection like that. And then that is currently 13 away. So if I go by 3, we're then looking for a 10 by 10 bend for the metro line. But obviously I want all this, the gradient changing. So upgrade you, and you. So what I'll do is we'll pick this here to be the same object height of you, right? And then if I just simply connect these in, and then with the power invested in your boy, we're going to go from there. Oh no, there to there, and completely slope it on a gradual, and then that funnels down into that direction. So we now have our first little hotspot kind of set up. Now that doesn't mean we're fully connected, because they've got to enter. Well, they enter here. They don't really enter on this side. It's just more decoration purposes while that's kind of up and running. But it does give me the option then if I wanted to go down that road in terms of creating some type of path or whatnot, getting it all connected up. That's plus 20. You know, that's elevated as well. But I could bring that to there, that one to there. Can I centralize this a bit more? The game's going to probably hate me for it, but I've just centralized it a whole lot easier right now. There. So it all kind of connects in nicely with the two crossings here. And then with the road crossing that I could add in, let's say right there. Now we have a nice little hotspot for pedestrian traffic. Worst case scenario, if it becomes too busy, I'd do overpasses or potential underpasses. But they walk in through that side just there anyway. So look at this right now. We got a nice little area. So that's our first little stop, which means I can slowly start getting people moving in on this point if I really wanted to. They can come in the region via train, get off the train, hop on the metro line that will then take us in this direction. This metro line here would then continue to go straight across here. Now it's continuing a straight line. So there is 30. So if I go 40, we're now 10 past this mark. And then we're going to come to this. So granted, we are then going to have to bring it down to Earth. I might even sink it down. I might even sink it down here. I don't fully know just yet until we know the plan of where we're going to head in that direction. But we've got some kind of orderly structure right now, which is really good to see. So let's do some more grid formats right now, because obviously it's all about cramming the most amount of people in, you know, this area as possible. Some areas will be standardized grids like what we're doing now. Some areas will be a bit more kind of loose. Some areas will be a bit more, you know, prettier and whatnot. It's just all about trying to maximize the amount of people we could potentially squeeze in to these areas. Now, as this is being like a little city center area, there's not really a lot you're going to get out of it. So that will cross up to there. That crosses to there to finalize this little section. So straight across. There we go. And then if you've got this space here in case like a roundabout needs to go in. So again, future planning. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Now when it comes to the edge of this road, I can do a 30. And because I've had to upgrade that to being that type of road, we have to take the flack of it with it not being the perfect 10 by 10. But that's okay. Add that to there, to there, to there as well. And I can see them maybe doing the exact same thing here, where that kind of goes up there. We maybe then split it to bring something coming down in this direction for some type of connection. So if I was to go down in that route then and do the same on this side, which it was, I mean, there's two variations we can go for. That one, the Sunken Dual Island, or we've got the Sunken Island Platform Metro, which this one is a lot more thinner, which as this area is a bit more compact and cramped, would that be the one to go with? I mean, where would it go? Especially occupied. It'd have to kind of be snapped in like this, but it's a little bit too close to say. Let me just place it here anyway, because I want to see what it looks like. So it's basically like a skinnier version of what we've just had. But if that was there, I could make it kind of turn in and then drop down. Unless I picked, for example, we killed off that bit there. And then we do pretty much the same as what we've done just. Centralize it. You know, I can use the paths to get us connected. So it's a free gap on the path. Like that. And then wherever we go in that direction, what I'll do anyway is, because I'll probably end up forgetting, that kind of sets us up quite nicely. Like I said before, like if it comes too busy with the road, because I'll do the same extending that way, then I'll do some overpasses and walkways and stuff like that. So shouldn't be too bad. Other little bridges that I would like to get into then, so you want some like kind of like normal ones, not just you know, that one big one. And again, as time goes on, I suppose that's when we'll kind of figure out whether or not we want to like sink this down slightly. I don't know. So that's 19 all the way across, but 7. If I go by 7, give us a nice wide 10 like stretch. There we go. So 8, and then hold on. 2, 1. Delete that. So it's a 9. And then 10 down. Bam. We'll have a nice standardized bridge which will connect to this road here. So if I was to do it now, it will be an 18. So if I come out by 8, go for the 10, you know, your standard 10 by 10 connection. Like that. Everything all runs through together and eventually will all link up. So this is not a bad start already. I just want to get that little metro line now connected to here. And then we've got a nice simple back and forth route we can create just for now to slowly start growing this area. Then we'll get these train lines connected to outside the region as well. So when it comes to that metro line then, it's underground, okay? It's underground. And we'll kind of keep it underground for quite some time until it probably gets to here. So at that point there we're 67, so 77, then we're 10 past this point now. So the question would be then, we want to, let's get this here, run. Now how did I do it here? It was just after here, wasn't it? So if I run to there, and was it a, what was it? It was like a 4-5-ish. Alright, we'll go for the 5. Looks somewhat similar. And we connected it down to here as well. So it's going to kind of come down a bit more, then do a turn. So if I brought this above ground to begin with now, just so I can see where it pops up. Is that going up? Hold on. So if I bring it to about there, we should at least see then above ground where the connection is, which is literally following this line. Right, so a 10. Oh, hang on, I forgot the whole thing needs to be up, doesn't it? $10 by 10. Now that is a 10 in the air, isn't it? Well, we're gonna slope it in. No, that's a lot higher, is it, than a 10? Oh my goodness me. But I get down to there. I'll elevate this. Oh, okay, we can't upgrade that type of train track there. Didn't we do it over here or elevate it up? Oh, yeah, we did. So if I go to elevate you. Okay, that's now technically elevated. Now, would I want it there to do it? Or would I want it pushed a bit further back? Now, we'll do it there because obviously we're going to be sinking it over a road. That one's not quite sunken over a road. Unless I do get rid of this road. But I don't think there's any need to. It's going to be kind of all part of it. So, okay, right. If we go back to the sloping then. The sloping side of things. If I pick from here to, let's say, there. Add that in. And then if we start again and then pick that point, but then go backwards, so let's say here. Add that little sloping in. So everything's all in order, all in line. And you got to think, eventually, these metro lines will be just kind of hidden with all the huge skyscraper buildings. You won't even notice they're there at this point. But then, like I said, then we've got the this that can then, if I bring it across by 40, so that's plus 12 in the air. So we've got that little line that runs off that way. We've got that one running across, you know, straight away. That stops down to there. So we've got to stop there and there for the metro. Cross over the trains. This metro is going to run parallel anyway. This train line here will probably go in this direction and filter out over here. So, yeah, I think we're ready now to get that train line connected all the way up. And like I said, somewhat then, we can then start moving in people next episode, which is going to be really, really exciting. So, train line side of it then, as that now is all beginning, I don't know where it's going to run through here. I have no idea how it's going to play out. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do a very generic route leading out. And then as time goes on, we'll change it, add stations, add more routes that pass by. But I'm going to have this route pretty much run out, let's just say about here. Again, it will eventually change. It will 100% eventually change. I don't know why it's now chosen to be elevated. I'm just foolish when it comes to that. Right, bringing it back down to 0. So yeah, like I said, it will eventually change. I just want to get it all in for now. So for me personally, I think after this moment here, I'm going to go for quite a large 40 by 40 bend. And okay, it's not actually that far to where we're connecting it. So to there. So I could do this. Right, and then with the magic of the... no, it won't actually work like that. We'll just kind of get something generic in. Like that. And there we go. We've got a standard connection. So the middle one will go a bit further up and connect straight out probably. And the left one would take a turn and then kind of connect out of this area. And then we'll probably have like a ring train line that goes all the way around the edges anyway. But look at how good this is looking already. This is going to be real good. Like real good. So again, get some more placeholder road now all in. So cover those little edges up just there. I don't know whether that would be classed as being a little bit too close to the area. Can you get away with that road being... No, it's not even underneath. Why do I even attempt it? I don't know. But I can do like little walkways and stuff, like kind of like, you know, garden-y type park areas that run down there anyway. So let's get this, because I'm trying to also think about creating direct routes. So 53. So 43 to here. So this kind of reminds me when we built Snowtown, in a sense of I'm always trying to think of not just the obvious routes, but the more direct routes. So you haven't always got to hit the major roads. So if you are living here and you wanted to, for example, get to like say there, you ain't got to hit the big road to go all the way down. You can hit the side roads and everything all kind of links up, like there, straight over, you know, through roads. I'm trying to do my best in that kind of sense. Now, would I make, say, for example, here, go across another bridge, or would I go for a tunnel? I mean, that could also be another option. Now, where does that there? It's 35. It's quite difficult to do this right now. So if I went for like another bridge, for example, 8. So there is 24. If I came back to there, 5 by 5, and if I come down by 2, we then got a nice little bridge that passes over, which I'm hoping it's high enough. I'm sure we'll soon find out eventually. But another little passing anyway. The more the merrier. The more then, you know, the more we can get traffic to and from both sides of the train tracks. Which this here will probably just lead out into like some kind of like dead area or somewhat. But not bad. Very good, in fact. Very, very good. So this is the first, like I said, the first form of transportation coming in. Now, if I was to look at other types of hubs, we can also look at the metro bus hubs. Now, these, what's great about them is also connected to a two-way form of the metro line. So they will be good to eventually incorporate somewhere else down the road. I mean, look at them fitting in there. Perfect. Would align wonderfully with the alignment of that there. Same with these. So it feels like it's all going to be intertwined and connected. That's literally how it feels. Now, the intercity bus hub here. Again, another large building, which I feel like that might be something that could be utilized around this area. If I could get that road over here just right. And like have it somewhat... I mean, I could maybe have half the building underneath the road. Like, for example, if I place that there. Let me just place that there for a second. There we go. Oh, let me delete that again. A bit of lag already. I haven't even got anyone living here and we're kind of experiencing a little bit of lag. Right, build that to there. So, and then let's say I ran this up to here, which would borderline be where I exactly want it. That becomes an 11. So if I actually delete back by a bit more, come out by one more, would that be a 10 by 10? Oh, do you know what? That was actually always going to be that's a perfect 11 by 11. So 10. Then it's 12 at this point. Weird. No, 11 by 12. What's going on right now? Let's just do it from here. 11 by 11. Straight down to connect into there. So you get the little crisscross pincer. Ooh, actually, better idea. You can probably see where I'm going with this right now. Actually turn this whole section here into the bridge. So if I came out by 10 at this point, ball it up to 8. Now I'm not going to be able to do the full shebang over here. So that is... It's still hard to kind of figure out, isn't it? Right, come down by... Yeah, let's go by the 4, that's fine. 13 by 15, but 13... It's 13 by 15. Let me... That's 4. Can I do 2? Yeah. 15 by 15. So that kind of overpasses there. So it's like a more direct route connection for the buses. Now I know the buses are facing this way. So if you was to create, for example, like a bus route. Let me quickly show you right now. Oh, I can't because I'll get the depot in. But basically, I want this flip round facing that way. Okay. So we can, you know, maybe do something with this. I could even change where that road connects there and do like a big UE or big circle in here. But having that kind of close nearby is a good little transport flip over. And obviously we got a more direct route that can fly over to get to then all the residential areas or, you know, out in other sections as you please. So like I said, I'm trying to get everything intertwined and connected. So if I can do that with the public transport, then the rest of it should be pretty simple and standard for us. So ramp that up. There we go. It's not bad. It's not bad. Come on. It should be a good little run. I'm quite excited for it. I'm quite excited for it to get it all up and running anyway. So other little areas then, we'll just do what we can. So again, we want to switch back to the grid format here, which I know it's a 40 going across. So if I came off there and straight across here, which without trying to lose any snapping, 30. And that's where a little bit of Aniki has to come into play. And I might have to redo this little section here right now because the way it all falls out. So 11 by 11. That's better. There we go. So we create that little bit of a gridded section now. And then if I came out here by... let's go out here by 25. That'll be a 14 by 14. Straight down. Yeah. And then we are kind of slowly losing the battle with some of this. So a 20 or... Yeah, we'll do a 20 there. 20 there. And then we'll see if we can kind of do anything here. So obviously, that's a 10 that way. 10 there, which do you know what I should have done? Stuck them out by 5. And actually, we'll do the 6. And then create the bend there. So 15 by 11. 7 by 12. So we get these two little gaps here where we can create like little park areas. In a sense. So when we come to kind of beautifying these places, that's when we'll really add all of our little finishing touches on. But we have a good start. I think next episode then, we'll start accepting the first residents moving in and really then start to kind of like build this area all up. But you can kind of see where it's going to progress. So the metro line is then going to go obviously up in that direction. This one is going to go over here. We'll have another one that swings going all the way around. Got the one going crisscross, that one going in that direction. Train lines going in their directions as well. We got a little bit of a intercity bus hub just here. In all of this section there, I really want that to be the financial district. I really do. So we can accept them via vehicle, well, via public transport anyway. Next episode, we'll get all the on and off ramps set up, and I'll finish off this little junction as well. Get all that kind of connected, but it's quite exciting, isn't it? It is quite exciting, to be honest with you. A few little overpasses, underpasses, all that kind of jazz. It's going to be pretty cool. I like how, even though, you know, it slightly clips, so if I move it over a bit. There we go. We'll have the metro line tearing through over the bus section here. It's going to be really, really good. So hopefully you can kind of see the bigger picture on where we're going to be taking this. Now we've got the first kind of setup of how the city is going to flow out. The sky is now the limit. The expansion should come in thick and fast right now because I've laid down the foundation. That's the biggest and most time-consuming one, is just figuring out how you want to approach it, where you want stuff to go. Now that I've done that, that's it. I've broken the seal. There's no umming and ahhing right now. It's straight getting people living here. Snowy in the comment section last episode did kind of say, "Yo, Seniac, I dare you to turn off despawn right now." Now, is it on or off? Hold on. It is vehicle despawning enabled. It is on easy mode. Okay, fair enough. I don't know. It kind of scares me. I probably will turn it off here and there, but I think I'll wait a while before I do turn it off when we really want to stress test the city. That's when we'll kind of give it a go and see what's crack-a-lacking and what's going down. But we have a start, guys. We have a start right now. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be mayhem. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be everything and more above. So, guys, if you do enjoy this episode and you want to see more, then smash that like button down below. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good. Bye.